Thank you all for attending our Earth Hour Booster event at the Thomas Edison National Historical Park. And we're blessed in West Orange to have this park on our main street in the center of our town. And people from all over the world come here, especially from Japan and Germany, as I understand it. And the park is inexpensive. It's open now Thursday through Sunday. And the mansion in Llewellyn Park, which is part of the park, it will be open again by May 1st, say. So I just want to get that out to everybody. So the West Orange Environmental Commission has been sponsoring this booster event, as I said before, for 12 years. And we bring it to the attention of our townspeople and our students. The school system gives out posters. This event is recorded to go on channel 38 and 45, our cable stations, and now we are able to put it onto YouTube. The school then takes the recording and they play it where they want in the school system, in the high school mainly. In years past, we've had students of all ages giving presentations. This year, we will have students and some special guests. So what I'd like to do is give the purpose of Earth Hour so it's not confused with Earth Day. They're two totally different events. So let me read to you a little bit about Earth Hour for all the people that will be listening and watching this recording. So Earth Hour began in 2007. It's been known for the lights off moment when individuals from around the globe switching off their lights to show symbolic support for the planet and to raise awareness of the environmental issues affecting it. More than 15 years later, we are now at a tipping point with our climate and nature crisis putting at risk the fate of our one home and all our futures. We're on course to breach by 2030 the 1.5 centigrade limit, which is 2.7 degrees Fahrenheit, which is the global increase limit set by the Paris Climate Agreement and nature. Climate Agreement. And the source of our very livelihoods is our nature, and one of our biggest allies against climate crisis is also under severe threat, facing alarming and unprecedented rates of loss globally. Earth 150 years ago was 1.1 centigrade colder than it is now. And the increase in world temperatures is increasing on the charts by leaps and bounds, let's say that. It's going vertically up the charts when we look at how quickly the greenhouse gases are affecting our climate on Earth. So because of that, for the next 7 years, they're very crucial to all our futures. We have to stay under this 1.5 degrees centigrade climate threshold to avoid irreversible damage to our planet. And we need to reverse nature loss by 2030, which is the end of this decade, with more nature and biodiversity than we started, not less. To make this happen, individuals, communities, businesses, and governments must all urgently step up their efforts to protect and restore our one home, Earth. With this 2030 goal in mind, we too must step things up. So this year, we're breathing new life into Earth Hour, our brand, our work, our message, and our mission, creating the biggest hour for Earth. How are we doing this? By calling on our supporters across the globe to switch off their lights and give an hour for Earth, spending 60 minutes doing something, doing anything positive for our planet. With our presence in over 190 countries and territories, with billions of people paying attention now to the Earth Hour event, we can use the power of all these people to turn a single Earth Hour into thousands and millions of hours of action and awareness, creating a domino effect of impact that continues well beyond the 60 minutes. Amidst our increasingly divided and polarized societies, the biggest hour for Earth becomes a precious moment of unity, reminding the world that our one shared home needs our help and that we all can and must play a part in protecting it. Very briefly, in this area geologically, the Ice Age was its southernmost limit, right here where we are. A little bit north of us, the ice sheet was 3,000 feet. South of us, there was no ice sheet. And you see that in the boulders and markings of all the land in North Jersey. And that was only 15,000 years ago. They're not sure how long it took the Ice Age to end, but it probably was a couple of thousand years. There's been 3 ice ages in the past 3 million years, each one approximately 1 million years apart. There's theories about why it happened, and there's still theories. People say, well, the Earth has always changed, and the climate has always been crazy, hot, cold, warm, wet, dry. So why are people so upset about this now? Well, the reason for it, science is empirical. And the one thing I tell people, and I want this to go out on the recording, is that when scientists take cores of ice in the Arctic, they go back hundreds of thousands of years. That's how old this ice is. And they can look at this ice and determine what gases were trapped in that water that created that ice. And they know how much CO2, which is the warming gas that we create when we burn fossil fuels, is in that ice. And they see trends. But when the industrial age started, they see that in about 1850, the amount of CO2 in those ice cores goes straight up the charts. And that hasn't happened for millions of years. Maybe 60 million years ago, when dinosaurs roamed the Earth, it was a lot warmer, and there was more CO2 in the climate. But that was 65 million years ago. Humans have only been on this planet as Cro-Magnons, or maybe Neanderthals, for maybe 1 million years, 1.5 million years. We're new. And we've screwed it up royally. But we didn't do it on purpose. We just evolved this way. But now we know what we need to do to make the changes and reverse the situation. So I wanted to get that message out first because that's what Earth Hour is all about. And we want everyone who watches this recording to observe Earth Hour and go onto the website and listen to all their practical information about how you can observe it and what you might be able to do. And nothing is too small. Anything you do is better than nothing. Some people will do a lot, some people will do a little, but small changes, even in your own house, will make a change for the hundreds of millions of people, billions of people on this planet. At this time, I would like to introduce you to Tom Ross, who is superintendent of the Thomas Edison National Historical Park. Tom has been here 9 years now. He is also the superintendent of the George Washington National Park in Morristown, another wonderful park for everyone that everyone should visit. We thank Tom and the Park Service for donating this time and this wonderful theater to us to again hold this event. And it's much appreciated. And we tell all the people, especially in our town, to come down and learn about Thomas Edison, who created the electrical world that we now live in, and enjoy that experience of being here from 1886 on, when he developed everything that we think that we rely on: sound, sight, radio, x-rays, you name it, it was all here. Tom, please come up.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Tom Ross, and introduced by Mike, superintendent here at Thomas Edison National Historical Park, and there's a new name he gave for the park in Morristown. It's called Morristown National Historical Park, and it is dedicated to George Washington and the Continental Army that encamped in Morristown. So glad to be here, glad to participate again in this launch for Earth Hour on March 25th. I think when you think about the national parks, you typically think of a lot of those iconic western parks that begin with a Y, Yellowstone and Yosemite. But you should also be thinking about these important parks, and a national park is a national park, regardless if it's a National Historical Park or a national park in its name. We are all equal, and these wonderful cultural parks that we have here in New Jersey, set aside for their national significance and set aside for the American people to come and learn and be inspired and appreciate all of the wonderful history that this country has, and how this country has developed and grown over the years, and the significant people and stories associated with it. Of course, when we think about the natural side of the national parks, the trees, the water, the mountains, the seashore, etc., we have to think about the importance of the environment. And I think this is a very worthy cause to be a part of and to participate in and to host here, because at the end of the day, the resources that we have in our nation are not endless. And, you know, we have to do everything that we can to preserve and conserve and protect our resources for this and future generations. And that's what the National Park Service is about. We want to make sure that this wonderful museum here remains here and is able to inspire and to educate and to tell the story of our history well into the future. And we all can play a role in helping our environment and making sure that for our kids and our kids' grandkids, that our environment stays healthy and that our resources are here. So turning off the lights is one thing that can be done. And I always, obviously, as being a father of two boys, two sons, teenagers, I'm after them to turn the lights off because they just leave lights on, and maybe not take as long a shower as they'd like to, and to make sure they recycle, and all of the things. And as Mike said, small and big things we all should do in our daily lives to make sure that we're doing our part in helping our environment and helping our resources, because they're not limitless. So I want to just applaud Mike and the Environmental Commission and the town of West Orange for the work that they have done and they continue to do in promoting the environment and ensuring that the great township of West Orange remains a vital and green place for its residents and for our future generations. I'd also like to, Mike already kind of plugged the museum, certainly encourage the public to come and visit the Thomas Edison National Historical Park. We are open Thursday through Sunday. It's a wonderful museum to come and learn. And we also are, as Mike mentioned, our Glenmont home in Wallen Park. The grounds are open while we're open. The house, we will be looking to open up and provide tours in the house come National Park Week. That's our hope, April 22nd through the 30th. So we encourage you to come down any time of the year. And also welcome you to come out to Morristown National Historical Park as well. So with that, I will stop there and say thank you, Mike, and encourage everyone, strange as it seems, to be at a place dedicated to a man that was involved with improving the light bulb, to turn that light bulb off on March 25th, even for just an hour, and to do your part. So thank you, and thanks, Mike.
You're welcome, Tom. We truly appreciate the hospitality that the National Park, with Tom and his crew, have given us this many years. And we remind especially people who live in West Orange and their kids have grown up in West Orange to come down and avail yourselves of a tour of the park. Not expensive, and also the Glenmont, the home of Thomas Edison. It's one of the finest examples of a Queen Anne Victorian home you'll ever see, with original furniture in it. So, and there's also quotes that I have for everybody to take home on the table. Edison in 1931 had a quote, and he said, "The future of energy is solar." And he knew that in 1931, but it was how to avail yourself of it. Now we have solar panels, and we have solar mirrors. Very briefly, sometimes we don't realize what the rest of the world is doing. My wife and I were in Morocco, and they have one huge installation of millions of kilowatts of solar energy being produced by mirrors in a field that concentrate their heat in one place, and they make super steam to drive dynamos. And they're building 2 more, and they go under the Mediterranean into France, into Spain, and distributed through southern Europe. So sometimes we think we're the only ones that are trying to make that shift, but the rest of the world is trying to make that shift also. I would like to introduce someone that I've worked with for many years as a councilwoman, who is now our new mayor of South Orange. Our first, West Orange, I'm okay. Susan McCartney has been a champion of the environment. She's very serious. She's an inspiration to me. And she was our coordinator on the Environmental Commission. In fact, we reestablished the commission with Susan. It had lost its membership, and we made it reborn. Susan was elected mayor of West Orange, and I'd like to introduce her right now. Come on up, Sue.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. We really don't know. I'm just going to call this our annual launch. And I put this screen up here because the actual Earth Hour is on Saturday. It's the last Saturday of every March, the last Saturday of every March. And when I read about it initially, it is a global phenomena. So there are over 180 countries around the world, thousands of cities that participate, and we have this panoramic view here in West Orange that if you are on top of any hill or even on any road, you will see all non-essential lights go out for that 1 hour beginning at 8:30. So if it's not too freezing cold, we tried to meet up at the 9/11 Memorial Park so that we can watch that skyline view. I think it's amazing, and we're part of it, and I have registered the town to do that now for many years. So that's why I put that screen up, that one. And we use that as a reason to have this program each year, and we are so blessed, honored to have this Thomas Edison National Historic Park as our backdrop to talk about all of the creative ideas that are coming out of the Environmental Commission, but not only the Environmental Commission, because we have created so many partnerships along the way, and that's why we have so many guest speakers. I did want to introduce many of the Environmental Commission members that are here. We have Councilwoman Susan Scarpa. Okay. Board of Ed Communications Officer Cynthia Cumming, right here. Justin Goldsman. Former Board of Ed member Ken Alper, and Planning Board. We serve on the Planning Board together. We have Cindy Rinsler, our social media coordinator. And Kimberly Hill. Kimberly is not here this afternoon, but Kimberly was a Montclair State University student. She graduated last year, and I am the Sustainable Jersey Coordinator for the township. I have been since 2007, when John McKeon was mayor. Now Assemblyman, he should be here. You know, he's always running late. But so as the Sustainable Jersey Coordinator, we have a partnership with Montclair State University. And last year, Kimberly Hill was that student that partnered, happened to live in West Orange. Now she serves on the Environmental Commission. And she did a study on all of our boards and commissions in town to see the diversity of our boards and commission. And I was so pleasantly surprised with the results. Not surprised, I was just pleased to find out that our boards are well represented. Our municipality is well represented in all of our boards and commissions. So those were great results. And we're just moving in that direction. So I was pleased to find that. We also have plenty of township staffs. Oh, and Joe Berwin, I'm sorry, Joe. Joe Berwin, also friend and neighbor for many years. Thanks. The spotlight's right on you. We also have staff support from the town, too. We have our health director, Michael Fonzino, is here. We have our town forester. We're very happy to have our town forester part of our team. And we have DPW. So DPW, as you're going to hear from some of our guest speakers, we use that hour, because it's not really an hour, it's every year process. We talk about what you're going to hear today, or some of the things that the Environmental Commission are up to. We are going to hear about bioretention systems. So when Mike says that we reinstated the Environmental Commission because now we are eligible, we always called it the Energy Commission because we were always trying to save energy and water. And that was thanks to my mentor, Max Manchel, who was the initial chair of the Environmental Energy Commission. When we changed it to the Environmental Commission, we were able to receive grants. And one was for Sustainable Jersey. We have a grant that was just awarded last year for $10,000 to build bioretention rain gardens. So we have a whole list. I know I don't really want to take the time to find it, but there's a whole list of all the schools here. We have selected 5. It's a $10,000 grant. We've selected 5 of those schools. This year, we're going to continue doing this each year. Kelly, Liberty, Roosevelt, Redwood, and Washington, right? So it was a feasibility study that was done showing where we can put rain gardens at each one of those schools. So we're going to work with DPW so that they can excavate, and then we'll have volunteers. There's always going to be volunteers. We partnered, I see Cherie Harrison here, we partnered with the Trail Mix Hub in Orange, another river cleanup. Cindy Rinsler is here to talk about the river cleanup that's coming up. It's always a call for volunteers. Just last week, Ken Albert, Justin and I sat, and Board of Ed superintendent and the high school principal and board president, Brian Rock, we sat in a meeting talking about solar carports. It started out at the township parking lot and the West Orange High School, 2 parking lots. And we've increased it now to be a townwide study to see that we can conserve as much energy as we can. We also have Second Chance Toys. I really want everyone to know about Second Chance Toys. We have partnered with them. It's a New York City-based company. They're affiliated with 12 charitable organizations. And I put the Environmental Commission, we have a 20-foot trailer up at our environmental center, which is at 590 Mount Pleasant Avenue, our recycling center. That trailer, it looks locked, but it's not. You can open it to keep plastic toys out of landfills. We donate the toys, and Second Chance Toys comes and collects them and distributes them. So in April, we haven't set a date, no, I'm sorry, May. We haven't set a date yet, but in May, we're going to organize, we have to take all the toys out now, disinfect them, and Second Chance Toys comes and picks them up. Today, we have a new student from Montclair State, Sarah Ripper. Sarah is the new partner with Montclair State and our Environmental Commission. And Sarah is going to talk about a community outreach on energy conservation and how to save money on your energy bill for low and moderate income families in a partnership with Comfort Partners. But just today, I found out that there is a new program coming out from Sustainable Jersey that will be townwide for all of us to be able to take advantage of. I don't have details on that yet. Otherwise, I would have put it in our presentation. And we have students from the high school. Every year we feature, I've been an educator for over 30 years, and I say this every year, that I will never, ever tire of recognizing the students in our town and the work that we're doing. That's plenty. That might be a nice segue for our Hazel representative here. Thank you all so much.
We've been busy at the Environmental Center, at the Environmental Commission, and there's a lot of other projects also, but not enough time to explain what they are. But anybody that's interested is invited to attend our meetings. We have them live and on Zoom once a month at the very last Wednesday of the month. And we ask that if you're interested, come on down and find out about us. I'd like to move on to a special event. Susan got a letter from a young lady about what could be done about noise in town. And she asked me to look into it, and I found out that Penny Riordan is a neighbor of mine. Martin, okay. Right. And I went and spoke with Penny and her parents, and I thanked her for the letter, and I asked her if she would do what the purpose of this booster is to look at the website, earthhour.org, and they give an amazing amount of information for all ages of what the possibilities are in your family and in your town and in your school to make a difference. So right now I'd love for Penny and her mom Nicole to come up, and Penny, give us your report about what you guys found out.
Hi, I'm Penny Mountains.
Yeah. Yeah, she's okay.
Okay, she's okay.
Before Earth Hour, I'm going to tell my class to do Earth Hour and tell my family in the Midwest and New Jersey about Earth Hour. For Earth Hour, we should have an indoor camp out with a battery lantern and read a book about Earth.
Great idea.
Okay. Thanks.
Penny, thank you, because nothing is too small to make a change in our planet. And Earth Hour gives us all that opportunity to do that. So hopefully you'll go into your classroom also and talk to them about Earth Hour. And there's posters that were dropped off at Hazel, so you'll see them on the wall of the school. And you can take some information on the side table with you for class. And it's good for you to talk it up so that all your students understand that Earth Hour is an opportunity. Doesn't cost us anything. It's just a creative effort. And maybe your parents will take you up to the lookout on Eagle Rock to watch all the lights go out on the New York skyline on the 25th at 8:30 in the evening, which is really cool to see. And then go back to your house and maybe by candlelight or searchlight, talk about what you have thought about with all the ideas from your mom and dad and your grandparents and yourself. So thank you very much for coming, and we love Hazel School. Both my kids graduated Hazel School, so we know all about Hazel School. It's wonderful. Mike Fonzino is an employee of the town of West Orange. He's Director of Health and Welfare. He's in the Health Department. He's a coordinator for solid waste. And Mike, if you would come up and give us an overview of your work so that we understand what's going on here in the great town of West Orange.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you again for the invite. It's a pleasure to be here. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Michael Fonzino. I am the director of the West Orange Health Department, as well as the Municipal Recycling Coordinator and Clean Communities Coordinator for the township. This afternoon, I'm going to present a litter awareness campaign that was developed by New Jersey Clean Communities. So New Jersey Clean Communities compiled statewide statistics based on various communities throughout the state that do cleanups in a year. And they ranked, based on the statistics, they ranked the top 12 most common types of litter found during those cleanups. And to raise awareness, a calendar was developed which ranks the top 12 litter contaminants, starting with the greatest type in January, ending with the 12th greatest in December. So I thought this would be a really good idea to promote litter awareness here in our West Orange community. So I'll go through each one. So number one, and they put in January because it's the first month of the year, cigarette butts. Cigarette butts contain plastic and 7,000 plus chemicals. Cigarette butts are the most common type of marine litter that are found. Okay, the second most common type of litter found on cleanups is plastic bottles. That's why we're trying to reduce by avoiding single-use bottles or reusing ones that we've used before, or having reusable bottles. And to be sure that we recycle these types of bottles accordingly. So the third type is candy and snack wrappers. Carry in, carry out. If there's no bins around, hold on to the wrappers. Don't just throw them on the ground. Number 4 is other types of trash. Fishing lines and nets are a big concern. You need to dispose of them properly to avoid any mammal entanglement. Bottle caps is number 5, the 5th most common litter found on cleanups. You're supposed to leave caps on your recyclables, and loose caps should be thrown away. Plastic bags, we all know about plastic bags. Bags and film can affect turtles and other marine life. Avoid overwrapped products. Recycle plastic wrap at stores. Single-use bag ban, as we all know, went into effect last May and has made a huge impact already on the reduction in plastic bag litter. Plastic straws is number 7. Straws and stirrers. You have the power to free the Jersey Shore from straws. Number 8 is takeout containers. Foam and plastic takeout containers have been banned in New Jersey, again, since last year. Bring your own cup and dispose of takeout containers properly. Number 9 is beverage cans. Aluminum can be recycled endlessly, but not in the condition that we see here. Glass bottles. Broken glass can harm people and wildlife. Glass bottles belong in the recycling, not on the ground. Pet waste is another big one. Not only does pet waste transmit parasites to humans, it pollutes our waterways. Protect your pet, people, and the planet by picking up after your pet. And when you pick it up, take it with you. Don't throw it in the woods or throw it in a stream or throw it in, where it's going to pollute, another part of our environment. Got to dispose of it appropriately. So for December, they say glitter-free wrapping is what you want to do. Use natural decorations. We all have to work together and be part of the solution. Things you could do: reduce, recycle, volunteer. If you see, report illegal dumping incidents if you come across them. So that's my short presentation on litter. But I think the calendar is a great thing that was created because it really does raise awareness if you focus each month on things that we should be cleaning up in our community. And the actual calendar is found on njclean.org. And it's a very nice piece, and a lot of the slides came out of that calendar that was created by the New Jersey Clean Communities. So if there's any questions, I'm happy to take them, or my contact information is up on the screen here. You could either call or email me. We have a lot of information on our website as well. Thank you.
Michael works with us every meeting and between meetings, a lot of information. And we're now on the Solid Waste Committee together. We're looking at innovative ways to handle our garbage contract in West Orange. It's fairly complicated. It's a moving target. We had a presentation to the town council last week, and the expert was very informative about how complicated it is and how regulations are changing and how technology is changing, and there could be interim solutions, not permanent solutions. We have to dance quickly along the way of the new contract. So what I would like to tell everyone who's watching is that we put out posters to the school system, and those posters went with a letter to the teachers. And it's a short letter, and hopefully the teachers will talk to the students about Earth Hour, have the students watch the earthhour.org website, and participate in Earth Hour. So this was the letter that went with the posters. This is one of the posters right here. There's about 4 different posters, and it went to the different schools. This is from the West Orange Environmental Commission. To the West Orange teachers, as a township, we are participating with Earth Hour, as we have done for many years now. We hold our booster event on March 15th, which is today, at the Edison Museum. We have students and teachers from our high school STEM departments, plus some younger students participating. And you heard our first grader, Penny. We are now sending out posters to your schools to place in classrooms. We ask all teachers to watch the website explaining Earth Hour and giving suggestions on how to participate. That's schools and families, and there's some amazing ideas. We ask you to support this townwide initiative and discuss with your students that this event for 1 hour can make a huge perceptual shift. Consider how each of us can support our troubled environment. If all of us do the best each of one of us can do in their home, town, schools, mankind will mitigate the damages already done and hold future damages to a minimum. It's our children who will experience worsening climate change, and we must make them activists to do all possible in their lives. Tell your students that it's lights out for this hour all over the world. Over more than 1 billion people will observe this hour. If parents take their children up to Eagle Rock Lookout at 8 o'clock, you all will see most of the New York skyscrapers go dark. It's a very awesome sight. Then go home and turn out your lights, light up some candles, and discuss how you can all be part of the solution and not the problem. So I wanted to read that so that it would reiterate and echo with the teachers and with the students so that they will remember that this is a booster event for Earth Hour, which, as Susan had said, is on the 25th on a Saturday night between 8:30 and 9:30. At this time, I would like to invite our new forester who joined West Orange last year, Walter Kipp. Walter has a vast amount of experience in his field, He has wonderful ideas that he's sharing with us, with the Environmental Commission. And Walter, would you come up and give us a little insight into your work and your thoughts?
Well, we're just trying here at the town. We just hired a new climber, so we're going to have our shade tree department out a little more, so we can get be a little more proactive instead of reactive this year. So we're going to try to. We have contractors doing tree work here in town. You probably have seen them, and also now our shade tree is going out and do tree work as well. We're getting a tree inventory this year, so we'll know how many trees we have and their health. I have been seeing a lot of big oak trees lately with rotted root flares, mostly because of the sidewalk construction. So we've been having to take the larger trees down. I have been inspecting them. The other thing we're having, emerald ash borers killing all our ash trees around town. We've been taking a lot of ash trees down over the last couple of years. Hundreds. This spring, we have a planting going on at a few different streets down here in the valley section. And then this fall, we'll be probably putting out another bid to do some more tree planting. Our inventory is just started. It'll take up the inventory forester about a year to complete. So then we'll have a better picture of what we have here in town. I have been doing inspections of the town properties and the schools to get our trees all safe and pruned or removed as needed. As far as we have a few things with our recycling yard is very full now up there up there on the hill. So we're going to work on trying to reduce that wood waste. That's my goal with working with the Environmental Commission to help the wood yard up and get it running properly. And that's about it for me. If you have any questions, you can certainly call my office, email me, or we can ask away. Yes.
Want to talk a little bit more about the bioretention systems?
Oh, yes.
If I can find a picture, I'll show you.
I'm going to work with the Environmental Commission and the schools to design the bioretention basins and construct them. We're going to use DPW to dig the pools, and then I'm going to design what plants we're going to use. The kids are going to design the bioretention basins. They're going to be a simple install, not too complicated. There's a little maintenance that's going to be required afterwards, weeds and so forth and so on. We may have to water in times of drought. We don't want our plants dying. We're going to have to check the percolation out a little bit because I don't know if it's good enough. We might have to do some more stuff with the retention basin down in the ground. So the DPW will be handling that. So we're going to do that, and then we'll plant at Arbor Day. We'll be planting some trees at the schools. Most likely redwood. Redwood schools had a lot of trees taken down recently. I want to get the hill back, the hill out front, replanted with maybe some chestnut trees if we can find some, or maybe some elms, Liberty elms or something like that. We'll try to find them. I'm trying to source them now. We're going to hopefully get that done. In the bioretention basins, we're going to do in the mid-May, right? We're going to have the school kids help. So we'll be digging a few different pits here and there, ponds. There's Liberty School. I think Redwood School has one as well. That looks like a good candidate to do. That's going to be right out front of the front main entrance. Everybody will be able to see it. They just drive by and you'll see it. It's going to be rather large, though. It's because there's a lot of water coming off in that area. I think that's Redwood right there. Yeah, so it's going to be quite a big retention basin. That whole area is going to be the retention basin. That's maybe not quite like that, but that's good. That's grown in, really. That's a grown in one. Obviously, it's going to be little tiny 4-inch pots we're going to use, but might have a little more color than that. They have a lot of grasses in that one. But yeah, there's other ones we're going to put along the parking lots and years down the road. There's a few other schools. I think Washington School is one that we're doing this year. It's going to be along a little pathway in the back of the school. But
This is all of the ones on the list. We
Yeah.
picked 5 because our grant is for 5.
yeah, we got, I think, 10,000, you said? 10,000. So we're going to do 5 this year. And then we'll continue as we get more grant money for next year. Okay. Do you have any other questions? Any questions? No? Okay. I'm always at town.
Well, Walter is our full-time forester. We haven't had a full-time forester for a number of years, and the town, in their infinite wisdom, decided to budget for a full-time forester. And when you listen to Walter speak and he comes up with ideas, it's from a vast amount of experience. We're working with Walter to change some of our tree ordinance details so that it's fair both to the environment and to the homeowner. And it's a little tricky, and with Walter's guidance and listening to the best that other towns have done, I think we'll come up with a good solution for it. Yes, the river cleanup is one of our initiatives for this spring, and Cindy Rinsler is going to talk about it. This is our second Rahway River cleanup. The first was the West Branch north of the reservoir, and this one is the West Branch that is on the northern part of town, that goes from near Verona down to Pleasantdale approximately. Give you some, and that'll happen in April. April 2nd. And we're looking for volunteers. The town Public Works will do the heavy lifting. Cindy, come on and talk to us about it.
This is our second, in 2020, New Jersey American Water awarded West Orange an initial $10,000 grant to begin a process of cleaning up the Raritan River stretch, the West Branch of the Raritan River, to get the debris out of there. It was the West Orange Environmental Commission, along with the West Orange Department of Public Works, and helpers from Boy Scouts Troop 6 that organized the cleanup. At that time, there were like 63 bags full of trash, bags of recycling that were collected and just removed. So, improving our rivers that much. And that area stretched from Vincent's Pond at Degnan Park all the way to the Orange Reservoir behind McLuhan's Boathouse. And really nice little side story. Out of that project, one of the Boy Scouts earned his Eagle Scout rank for his leadership skills and his organization skills in putting all this together. At Current, the township has been awarded another $10,000 grant to clean up another stretch of river. This time it's the Peckman River stream that runs parallel to Pleasant Valley Way across Woodland Avenue. That will be our focus. So we are, to accomplish this task, the West Orange Environmental Commission is seeking volunteers to come on out. It'll take place, we said, Sunday, April 2nd, from 10 a.m. till about 2 p.m. We will have the gloves, the trash bags, the trash grabbers all provided. So we really just need the bodies, the people to come, probably with rain boots, and help out with cleaning this stuff up. The bonus, I mean, who doesn't want it's prettier, it's cleaner, but there's actual, this will help prevent flooding with our neighbors. This will help prevent polluted runoff waters. This is an all-around good event. To register to volunteer, you can email mayor@westorange.org. You can also, there will be, we have had some posts on Facebook, but follow, and I'm just going to look to make sure I get it right, the West Orange Environmental Commission. If you can follow us on Facebook, you'll get this information out. I know we also spread it on 411 and 07052, but there's so much out there. So if you follow us, it'll come up on your feed. You can see more information of what we have going on, where we need volunteers, and many hands make light work. So please join us.
Thank you, Cindy. We're just hoping for good weather, and we'll get that river cleaned up. So to make sure you know our geography in West Orange, we are the headwaters of the Raway River, which runs all the way down to Newark Bay through about 25 towns, and we're the source of the river that floods Millburn, and that's our claim to fame. But what we're trying to do is make the waterway clearer, get rid of all the debris, make it accessible, and do what we need to do to make it as absorbable as possible so that the water that runs into the reservoir doesn't just inundate the reservoir and rush down through the reservation and start a tidal wave that goes through Millburn. And all the towns on this Raway River are doing what they can do because they have horrendous flooding, Westfield and that area further down. The Army Corps of Engineers and the federal government have recognized this. It's been 15 years of a discussion, and the money has been budgeted for long-term solutions for the Raway River. So either while we're not a part of the horrendous flooding, we still have flooding in the valley. So what we're doing also is the best possible thing we can do. And with the river, a lot of it in town is in underground conduits. Because when we built up the town, towns made the rivers disappear and they put them underground. And the rivers come above ground, they go back underground. When you go through South Orange and Cameron Field, you see the river above ground. So I would like to introduce Cherie Harrison, who I work with the Orange Hub, and she'll tell you about her project. Cherie lives in West Orange. She's been very active with the Downtown West Orange Alliance, where I first met her many years ago. She is now a master gardener, and she is involved with the Hub Group, which is a community organization funded by grants, and they do a lot of community service across the board, and they want us, Cherie and myself, to run some environmental programs for them. So Cherie, come on up and talk to us about what's going on with you and Hub and the environment.
Thank you, Mike, for inviting me, and Mayor. I love saying that to her. Again, my name is Cherie Harrison, and I just want to thank you for allowing me to speak and be a part of this. I have been living in West Orange for about 8 years. I have graduated from West Orange High School. One this year, actually. My middle son will be graduating. My daughter will be graduating next year. So empty nester I am. But I am able to work with the Downtown West Orange Alliance, as well as with the Thomas Edison Building on the West Orange Street Fair, which I have pride in helping to decorate our Main Street with a bunch of awesome small business owners. So that I do take pride in being part of that and working with the community and bringing that awesomeness within the community. But I also get a chance to work with my community that I was born and raised with next door to us, the city of Orange. Born and raised, of course, my whole family, class of 95. So being able to collaborate with my town I love here, West Orange, and my Orange gives me joy as well. What I'll be doing is working with the River Network which we have a grant through the hub, bringing up the urban community into the reservation, the reservoir, as well as working with the environmental center, a recycling center, and as well as the conservancy. We will be taking tours up at the reservoir with students, seniors, families from the urban communities of Orange, East Orange. Few of the Newark organizations has been part, and I'm so gracious to have Mike Brick work with me on this project and introducing the lands that's literally in our backyard to communities that has no idea that they exist. Some of the opportunities that we are having is working with the environmental center, bringing school classes up there, doing just awesome activities, hands-on activities. We will be working with the ferry trail, bringing students up there, as well as doing fun activities, walking around our reservoir with our seniors and hiking with our seniors, bringing a community up that has no idea of what's up here, the beauty, the joy, and just a whole nother world that's up here. And I have the great opportunity to be able to introduce that. Myself, being able to come and play in our backyard, as I call it, with the environment, learning a lot this past 4 months, working with Mike Brick to be able to schedule these programs is awesome. So I am just joy to bring up other communities that have no idea of what's up here to enjoy it as well. So I thank Mike Brick for introducing me to this and to work with me so graciously and designing and coordinating this whole program. And I invite all you guys to come and be part of it as well. You can get in touch with me at Cherie at orangehub.org. Again, that's Cherie, SHAREE, at orangehub.org. And would love to have you to come and take a tour with us and some activities, hands-on activities. As Mike said, I'm not finished my master gardening class yet, but I am in the process of taking it because I'm really, really into the earth. As I get older, I'm learning that this is what we need to cherish, is because this is what we're leaving behind for the young ones to take care of. So learning how the world shaped through the dirt and the flowers and the trees has given me a whole different outlook on life in general. So I would love to volunteer through the different programs. I would love to learn about trees with my friend back there, and just be a part of our community and making it more greener and making our kids aware of the future that is in their hands. So I thank you again, guys, and I look forward to working with a lot of you guys throughout the summer.
Cherie, thank you, and I look forward to working with you also. It'll be a pleasure. Is Dennis Percher here? I don't see him. All right, so yeah, Sarah from Montclair, why don't you come up and give us your presentation? And just so you know, come on over here. Point of information, my father was class of 1936 president in Montclair, and he became a high school teacher in Bloomfield. And my mother left Montclair as a sophomore in 41 to marry my dad, and she went back to Montclair in the 70s, and she graduated, and she practiced taught, and then taught a little bit. And she had the distinction of being the longest undergraduate at that point in time who had graduated Montclair. So it has a soft spot with our family. So why don't you tell us about what your project is?
Yeah, so I am Sarah Reaper. I am a senior at Montclair State University studying sustainability science. My senior project is working with West Orange, doing community energy outreach. We are working with Comfort Partners. So Comfort Partners is a free energy saving and energy education program. They help income-eligible customers save energy and money while increasing safety and comfort. So why should I participate? You are going to save money, reduce your energy use, reduce your utility bills, make your home healthier and comfortable. You can participate by checking your eligibility on the Comfort Homes website. Through there, you can enroll, and then you'll have a home visit by a Comfort Partners representative, where then you'll create an action plan and a partnership agreement, and finally, you'll have installation. So to participate in Comfort Partners, you must live in New Jersey. Your income must be at or below 250% of the federal poverty guidelines, although now there's a new program where anybody can be involved. So some of the programs that, if you're already participated in, listed below, you'll probably be eligible. Here are more guidelines. This is also found on the Comfort Partners website. And to check your eligibility, you can check the New Jersey Clean Energy website /CP, or you can call their toll-free phone number. After enrollment and during your home visit, a certified Building Performance Institute contractor will reach out and set up a home visit. When they visit, they'll go over the Comfort Partners program with you again, conduct a home energy audit. They will include safety and efficiency tests, as well as discuss your home energy use and how the program can help you. At the end of the home visit, the contractor will develop an action plan for your home, and you will fill out a partnership agreement. After the home visit, you can develop a scope of work, return to your home, and have those energy-saving measures installed. So you might be asking what gets installed. Some of the cost-effective energy measures include energy-efficient lighting, water heaters, refrigerators, energy-saving thermostats, installation, air sealing, duct sealing and repair, and more. And here are some energy-saving tips. Drafts can cause you to lose heat in your home through leaky windows, doors, electrical outlets, light switches, and other openings like your fireplace damper. Reducing air leaks could cut 10% from an average home energy bill. And of course, while you are asleep or out of the house, turn your thermostat back 10 to 15 degrees for 8 hours and save around 10% a year on your energy bills. And then most importantly, turn it off. Don't leave the video game on pause, the computer on sleep mode, or the cell phone charger plugged in when you are done with it. Those electronics are still using energy even though you're not using them. And for more information, you can contact Mayor McCartney. And what's that?
Your name.
Thank you.
These programs are very important for people, and I wasn't even aware that the requirements for income have been either changed or waived yesterday. Wow. So anyone can avail themselves of that. I'm going to call them this week. I'm looking to see who is here. Is Java in? I don't see they're here. And is Dennis Percher here? No? Okay. But I see who came in, Michelle Castellino, who is councilwoman and president of the council. And Michelle wanted... Oh, Tammy is president. You were president. Yes, sorry about that. And Tammy's here too. Tammy. So, Michelle, come on up and give us what's on your mind to discuss about the environment, Earth Hour, and other good stuff.
So thank you, Mike, and thank you to Mayor McCartney for inviting me here this evening. So I'm here to talk a little bit about some use of technology within our township to help folks save on paper, save on improve ways of communicating. So first of all, I have a question. How many of you here have heard about the township's mobile app on your phone? Okay, so a few of you, so this is great. I have a few of you, the rest of you here get an opportunity to download it for me this evening. If you go to your app store on your phone, whether you have a iPhone or an Android, you will be able to download it, and you'll see the little light bulb here with the green face, and you'll be able to download our Township mobile app. Now, it's under the name of Downtown West Orange because the Downtown Alliance, who I am the liaison for, had sponsored this initiative for the township, and we're just going to get it on the screen for you. And the purpose for this is to, again, great communication tool for the township, saving on paper. Not everybody always opens up their emails. So there it is. So if you see it there, we have a lot of information on there. The first page of the app is a directory of all our businesses in the community. So we wanted to make sure that we download as many businesses as possible. All the Downtown Alliance's businesses are there, as well as many more throughout the township. And our restaurants. We wanted to make sure that we help promote our restaurants. Since the pandemic, as most of you know, a lot of the small business owners have been hurt really, really bad with trying to get their businesses back. Unfortunately, we lost quite a few during these tough times. So we was trying to promote them with our various initiatives, and this was one way that we could support them with the marketing grant that we have. Can you hear?
Also, if you go to the Township WO.
Oh, it's right on, yes, it's on there, you could download it. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna go through the pages, yeah. So thank you very much for that. So as you look at each icon, there's 4 pages of icons. So the first page is, like I said, the directory, restaurants, parking, because we always want to make sure, especially, this is just not for township use, but also for folks outside the township, because we're trying to get more visitors into the community, especially to frequent our businesses and restaurants. And this is a way that people could identify navigate the township resources and what we have to offer. So you may know where the Abe Lando parking lot is, or maybe you may not. But this will tell you where each of our municipal lots are located. And what's really cool about this and the technology is that if you're right now, we're in this area right here in the museum, when you hit on the parking, you'll click on the closest lot, and that's why I mentioned the Abe Lando lot, because that is our closest municipal lot to us at 84-92 Washington Street, Township Hall parking lot. So it takes where you're at, and say you want to look at the restaurants. It will show the restaurants that are closest to you at that particular location, which is pretty cool. And then we have deals, so if you're looking for a special, so we tell the business owners to put your deals, load up your deals, because it's another source of marketing for them, another click that folks could find their establishments, our social media, and events. If you click on events, we have Restaurant Week coming up here in West Orange. How many have heard about our Restaurant Week initiative? Okay, we're getting there. So younger people out there, our restaurants are having specials next week, the 19th to the 25th, www.westorangerestaurantweek.com. And again, use of technology and going on there. You click onto the restaurant tab, and any restaurant that has 10 tables or more, you'll be able to find some specials. And then light bites. So if you don't feel like going out to sit down dinner, click on our light bites, and there'll be specials. And we ask folks to go out and promote our restaurants and businesses and to try someplace new that you haven't tried before. So again, we're just looking at different various ways using the technology to help and support establishments here in the township. Then the second page of the app, we get into more township information. And as we said, Township West Orange, if you click on that, all the resources to the township are pulled from the website. So if you need different permits, online bill pay, if you need to pay your taxes, you go right to your phone. Planning and development and recycling coach, as Ms. Rinsler had mentioned, and report a concern. So we took the most tabs that are used on our township website and made it really, really easily accessible for you to be able to get that information and communicate with the township right on your phone. Various attractions in the township we have there. You know, we have the zoo, we have our museum right here. We're so fortunate to have our national park located right here on our very own Main Street. And we appreciate our partnership with them. And it's because of our partnerships with the museum and many other establishments in the township and organizations, we're able to get letters of support to help us earn these much-needed marketing grants to be able to help us fund these initiatives. So again, we just try to use technology to support and promote within the township, and we hope you could utilize it. And again, there's 4 pages, so you would swipe each time to get the different icons. The school district's on there, OSPAC, our public library. The museum has, we felt it was important for the museum to have its own icon. Parks and Rec, our hotels in the township. So we try to cover everything. And we hope when you get an opportunity that you could play around with it, especially with the events, because we have a lot of great events here in the township, and some more will be uploaded as they come online or they get closer. And speaking of events, I want to thank my fellow Downtown Alliance partner, Cherie, for all her hard work with the street fair. And very important, street fair this year is June 3rd, because we celebrate Thomas Edison's birthday that weekend. And last year we had 6,000 visitors come to Main Street. So we look forward to a great, successful year this year. And again, we thank everyone for their partnerships, and we hope you utilize the technology and the initiatives we brought here to the township. And again, thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Michelle, for just going over what's really important about downtown on Main Street. And to reiterate, we are the only town in the U.S. that has a national historic park on our Main Street. And for the students that are watching and for the young people that are watching this promo for Earth Hour, that try to understand that this town and its surrounding towns were the epicenter, ground zero of the electrical industry that changed our world. And we take it for granted when we take out our cell phones and we use them, or we have a screen that's flat and you can see sound and picture on it. But to give you some idea of how amazing Edison was, he found something when he was working with vacuums in glass tubes for lighting. And it was that electricity in a vacuum moves only one place, to one positive diode. And he called it the Edison effect, but he didn't know what to do with it. And he patented it. And it turned out that that effect is the discovery of the cause of vacuum tubes, which allowed us to have radio and allowed us to have television. And the vacuum tube turned into a diode, which turned into a transistor, which turned into printed circuits, which turned into millions of layers of transistors and printed circuits. And it was all from Edison just finding out how electricity travels through a vacuum. And so when you come to the Edison Museum with some insight into why he is so important as developing a factory of invention, where he had people working with him, go to the library and see the world's largest industrial library, scientific library of its time in 1890. These are the things that are here in our town that we want you to take advantage of, as well as understanding that we're doing everything we can to change the environment to make it as positive as we can. Do we have, from the high school, we have the STEM group here. And Catherine Gardner is their representative teacher. And we have Lorenzo Viney, Mike Paukar, and Reynard Pep-Ra.
So good evening. My name is Katie Gardner. I'm a high school teacher at West Orange High School in the Technology and Engineering Department. And I have the great honor of working with just an incredible group of students year after year. Aspiring engineers, aspiring designers, and I hope that just exposing them to concepts of sustainability and considering that they really do have the chance to impact their future with their inventions, their ideas. So this year I'm very proud to bring Lorenzo, Renaud, and Mike with me to talk about one of the projects they're working on in a innovation and invention pitch contest that we're working towards. So I'll let them speak for themselves.
All right. Thank you for having us. Our project is about our rechargeable portable car charger. So think of this. With all Tesla drivers nowadays, they always have to go over to these charging stations. And sometimes when you're late to work and you haven't charged your car in like a day or two, you'll realize that you don't have the 40 to 30 minutes at a regular car charger to get a full tank of charge. So our invention is basically to add a portable charger for your own Tesla that can be in the back of your car that can charge it while you're driving, making you not have to wait for minutes to charge it and just drive with lots of portable miles that you can use.
Okay, so this brings our using our own portable rechargeable car. How this works is that this portable charger lets you charge your Teslas on the go without having to wait for your car, wasting time that you could spend on the road. Use the microphone, please. Oh, sorry. This charger will be a massive time saver for all these people on their long road trips, with the extra time spent on charging creates an even longer trip.
Our chargers will be a full 34 kilowatts that will allow Teslas to travel over 100 miles and more. Once our chargers run out of energy, it is very simple to take them out of the back of your car, which they will be at, and replace them. There are stations across USA and the gas stations which you could go to a solar-powered station, which we have our chargers set in, and take one that is fully charged and get back on your way. This will also reduce the risk of fire fuel concerns over the lithium-ion battery in the Teslas, since this has been an issue for quite some time. Okay, and these are some environmental attributes to having this portable charger, and one is that it's charged using solar technology, which are in the charging stations at the gas stations near you, and this reduces the fossil fuels created by the normal Tesla charging stations, which most of them are powered by gas, oil, or coal attached to running grids. And solar charging saves energy, which is a very good thing, and it being rechargeable cuts down the waste and use of throwing out car batteries. And doing this will also help a lot with people that go on long car rides for your car dying out. You won't be stranded somewhere if there's no charging station nearby, because you will have this as an extra, which is almost like a whole new battery on top of your electric car. And also the charging stations, if they've already fully charged all the batteries in them, the extra solar energy stored up in them can be used for the town to do other things and help the community.
Since these solar stations for car batteries technically still are a solar station, the energy that is collecting, like he covered, can be donated to the town station or any electrical companies that is local. This will help lower the large amount of taxes that are used in electrical bills. This portable car battery can get more people to switch to the electric cars because they have more options to charge while they're on the go.
So our idea for our project was mostly because nowadays with electric car batteries, we're now figuring out that electric cars are becoming the new future. Electric cars are something that was always shown so in the Super Bowl this year. For the 2023 Super Bowl, we had 5 different car companies come out of the blue with their own rechargeable and electrical powered cars. And even though Tesla takes about 80% of our electrical cars right now, it's going to be distributed between lots of different car companies because we are assuming that every single car company by the year 2023 is going to have some type of a different rechargeable car. And we think that in 10 to 15 years from now, we think that every single car company will have their own rechargeable car. And with our invention, we believe that it will help really reduce the amount of fossil fuels used because despite us using chargeable cars, they're not exactly natural friendly. So in order to help the Earth, we want to create this battery using only solar power to really make sure that we can make the world a lot more cleaner. And yeah, that's it. Right now we're just calling it our rechargeable car battery. So.
I'd like you guys to read a quote by Thomas Edison that's apropos electricity and solar. So one of you guys, if you would read that into the microphone and just say when he said it.
Thomas Edison, quotation of solar energy. We are like the tenant farmers, chopping down the fence around our house for fuel when we should be using natural's inexhaustible sources of energy, sun, wind, and tide. I thought I'd put my money on the sun and solar energy. What a source of power. I hope we can not have to wait until oil and coal run out before we tackle that. Source, Uncommon Friends, Life with Thomas Edison, Henry Ford, Harvey Firestone, Alexis Carrel, Charles Lindbergh, 1931 by James Newton, page 31.
When you hear that quote back in 1931, Edison was certainly a future-oriented person who knew that the world was changing. He was causing some of the change, and he knew that after he passed on, that the change would accelerate and we would have solar energy. So now when we have people saying, well, fossil fuels is the only way to go, and solar will never take the place of fossil fuels, it's a nearsighted observation that is proven not to be true. So that quote nails it. 1931 was quite a different era, almost 100 years ago. So I want to thank the 3 gentlemen for making that presentation. And I've made arrangements to have a Lucid electrical car, battery car, here at our town fair being shown. It's quite expensive, but it was an engineer who left Tesla and decided he could make a better car, and he did. It cost a lot of money, but there's some innovation in that car that has a booster in it that takes the 220 volt, turns it up to 900 volt, and in 15 minutes the car battery is charged to go 400 miles. So that car will be here at the fair. Come on down and see it. They'll explain it to you. And it's only $100,000 to $200,000 right now, so it's not for everybody. But it's nice to see what's happening with technology, because just as when the LED bulb first was introduced, it was extremely expensive. All innovation when it first starts is expensive until production is geared up and it becomes more streamlined. Now we can buy LED bulbs, which is our bulb of the future. It uses 90% less electricity. It's cold light that emanates from the bulb, and you can change the color of it on your computer. You can flip a switch and go from daylight to warm light to cool light on it. And we take these things for granted, but it was the world that Edison created here, so we like to have him as an inspiration to us all. Pedestrian safety, come on up here and let's hear what's going on with pedestrian safety.
So the township was awarded a New Jersey Department of Transportation $920,000 grant. It's going to be dispersed around town. And we have from the West Orange High School a Youth Advisory Pedestrian Safety Board, 2 representatives here, Zoe Gilson and Ashwin Anand. So next week, this is a map that was just given to me yesterday when the NJDOT did a presentation. What this is showing is that they're going to come out next week and do a walkability assessment. And this is a map of the Hazel, Gregory, and Roosevelt area. It will be town-wide, but this is one section that we are looking at next week. So I just thought that we're making it a walkable, livable community with everything that we're doing on the Environmental Commission. And we've invited the representatives from the Youth Advisory Pedestrian Safety Board to come and talk about what they have been working on as well.
Hi, my name is Zoe, and I'm the president of the Traffic Safety Board, and this is Ashwin, he's the vice president. So today we're just going to be giving a presentation about our different committees, our different goals, and some of the things that we want to accomplish for this year, not only in school, but also in the town. So our mission is to evaluate traffic safety issues and generate ideas for productive change. Develop specific traffic safety improvement plans for consideration, work with the MBF, the West Orange Township, and other traffic safety organizations such as the West Orange Pedestrian Safety Board, and implement an improved and finalized version of the plans.
So the first committee that we have is our Public Policy Committee, and that group specifically focuses on advocating for legislature to get passed. And recently members of our group have testified before the Senate and Assembly Transportation Committees, and we're trying to get another bill passed which would mandate 50 practice hours for new drivers under the age of 21.
So next is our Education Committee, and they focus primarily on education, of course. So we have a trip coming up on March 21st. It's going to be to Kelly Elementary School, and we're going to be giving just like an interactive and educational presentation about the dangers of being distracted while you're a pedestrian, and we're going to be giving them tips on how to stay alert and focused. And while we're there, we're also going to be speaking with the principal about a walking school bus initiative we have planned. And what that is basically one day, members from the board and also other volunteer organizations in our group are going to walk kids home from school. So making sure they're safe, they're getting home safely, and they're also learning how to navigate the roads properly.
Our next committee is the Municipal Committee, which I'm the chair of. What we mainly do is we collaborate with the West Orange Pedestrian Safety Advisory Board, and we generate solutions for local traffic issues, and we also assist on data collection and analysis, which a couple years ago we sent out a Google form through Naviance to students as well as parents to kind of like gauge their traffic concerns, and then collected that data and presented it to the West Orange Pedestrian Safety Advisory Board to kind of see if we could get like changes made.
Okay, and then we have the Marketing Committee, which I'm the chair of, and it's basically just using social media to help spread our messages. So we have an Instagram. Our Facebook is just connected to the Nikhil Badlani Foundation, and then we also have a Twitter. We're most active on our Instagram, and we post weekly infographics and statistics, and we also just post pictures from what we're doing in the club.
Some things we've accomplished over the years. We created the street mural by Hazel Elementary School to reduce speed. We raised awareness of the dangers of distracted driving by placing signs around the township. And 20 students were selected to receive behind-the-wheel scholarships. So they did their 6 hours of mandated driving with an instructor. And we were consecutive 2 years winners of the You Got Brains competition.
Okay, so last year our big initiative was the mural by Hazel, and so this year we wanted to do a traffic safety festival. It would take place at Washington School, and it would be a day. There would be booths, there would be food trucks, and we just have activities and also a bike giveaway. So it's helped out by Easy Ride, and there's going to be a Learn to Ride class and a biker safety class. And there's also going to be a presentation from different organizations, such as the Pedestrian Safety Board. The Vision Zero team came together to gather input from West Orange residents, and there's also going to be virtual reality, traffic safety games, and face painting. And then these are just some pictures from last year, us planning, and then also 2 members of the board doing one of the booths.
We also been shown in the media, and we were published in the West Orange Chronicle, Essex News Daily, and West Orange Patch, and we were also published on the West Orange High School website, and we were also interviewed by New Jersey News 12. And yeah, that's all.
That's it. Thank you.
So I'm moving around. I would like to introduce you to Joe Berwin. And Joe is a new member of our West Orange Environmental Commission. He's lived in town for quite a number of years now. He's a neighbor a few blocks away in an old Victorian, beautiful home. And I'll just give you a little bit of an overview of what Joe's experience that he brings to the commission. There's some people that are overqualified, but we'll still take Joe. Hold on, and I'll give you his information. If I can find it. Bear with me. Okay, so Joe has a background in energy technology, finance, and data science. Joe has led large teams of data professionals at J.W. Wiley, where he was vice president of the company's data analytics and insights organization. Before Wiley, Joe established the data science engineering organization at T. Rowe Price, one of the nation's top investment management firms. Joe's background in energy technology, analytics, data engineering, and data science spans finance, manufacturing, supply chain, and research. Joe also spent a decade as the managing partner of Alternative Energy Investing, a company that he founded in 2005. Joe pioneered several industrial leading models for chemicals and materials used in photovoltaics and energy storage, solar panel fabrication, cost simulation, energy technology device demand, volume, cost, and price estimation. Joe went to school at NYU at the Stern School of Business, where he got an MBA in finance and MSc in business analytics. And Joe went to Columbia, where he got a BA in economics. So that makes him eminently qualified to be on the West Orange Environmental Commission. Joe, come on up and give us some overviews.
So I want to just say thank you to the mayor, of course. The Parks Department, if there's a job that I ever get to do in my final chapter, it's working for the Parks Department.
12 parks in total.
I would love it. I think everybody would. And of course, I'd like to thank the council and everyone else. So my background is probably a tangent to what's really most important to me about why I'm here, which is because I've been a resident of West Orange going on 30 years. Coming out of school, I bought my wife's father's house, which is over on Forest Hill. I was neighbor to the house of the town forester, you know, Mr. Mickey, way back in the way back. So my wife is a product of the school system. My daughters are a product of the school system. And We have a presence in town in the same place for 60 years. So to me, the Environmental Commission represents my opportunity to use my skills to help sort through what are otherwise, let's say, complicated issues. Now, I'm probably not the best person to be talking to you and boosting you and making you excited about Earth Hour, but I think Earth Hour is a phenomenal opportunity for us to turn off the lights, disconnect from our devices, and reconnect with our environment. There's a lot of things. There's many different aspects of environmentalism, and I think that some of them are really worth noting here. Over the last century, West Orange has experienced significant growth, and as a result of that expanding population, we've had both really fantastic and positive impacts. Everybody loves growth. It brings us income. It brings us opportunity as a town. It brings us the types of things in life that, quite frankly, we can't live without, but it also brings environmental stressors. And environmental stressors are not at complete opposition to growth. We can have wonderful growth and we can have sustainable growth as long as we are planning as a whole with respect to our community as a town and a township. And I think that that's probably my first order reason for getting in touch with Mike and with the mayor and trying to become a part, this wonderful part of what's going on here. I really want to congratulate the West Orange High School students who presented today. Energy storage is the golden ticket. Health and human safety, traffic, infrastructure, and especially public policy are the things that are needed. We need more of it, and I'm really excited to see young people here today talking about their aspirations and their activities. And if you guys ever want to talk about silicon MOSFETs and how they're germane to your product, I would love to have that conversation with you. But moving right along and thinking about some of the things that I wanted to talk about was basically, as West Orange continues to sort of grow and we establish a short and medium long-term sort of vision for what we want to do for our environment in that context, I think we should all be ready to participate in that conversation as you all are doing right here. But perhaps most importantly for those people who hear about this event or maybe participate at Earth Hour, that conversation starts at home. And from there, whether your kids are of high school age or they're still small or they're like mine in their early 20s, these conversations about how we want to use our precious resources, how we want to protect them, and how we want to represent our voice in that conversation and really energize that public, call it debate, call it engagement, call it what you like, just show up. So that's what I'm trying to do with the energy or the environmental commission, and I'm really glad to see this group doing the same thing. So I think that that conversation, which starts at home, ultimately sort of creates the opportunity for us to continue on this wonderful sort of history that we all share as residents of West Orange. Mike talked a lot about what Thomas Edison did, but that's just really the start of it. If you project it out, the people who have moved through the school system and who have lived in town and looked at some of their accomplishments, look no further than what was previously Pleasantdale and what is now named after a phenomenal West Orange resident and one of the people that I think we can all look up to. So this year at Earth Hour, I think we want to ask our kids and ask ourselves what we want West Orange to look like in the future. And we want to have a real conversation in the context of success and in the context of opportunity and sustainable growth, what this place might look like. And that might look like a city to some. It might look like local commerce and some of the things that we've talked about with respect to safe pedestrian corridors. To others, like the EV group, it might look fantastical. It might be something like autonomous vehicles. But one thing's for sure, in the short, medium, and in the long run, this place is going to look different. And it's upon us to engage in that conversation, to participate, and to create that plan, and not to think about things just at the kitchen table, but to step out and look across town and to participate. So I think I'll stop there. Just want to thank everybody again for the opportunity to chat. And I hope I boosted you. And thank you.
To piggyback off Joe, a man of great intelligence, wisdom, and training, yes, the world will be quite different. And how we make it different is how much energy and time and effort we put into it. To give you some idea, we are part of ANJEC, which is the Association of New Jersey Environmental Commissions. They give us grants, they give us teaching, they run seminars. There's, I think, 150 members in New Jersey of towns that have environmental commissions. They're an amazing resource. And I just want to let everybody in West Orange to know that we pay our dues, we're members, we participate, and we learn from them, and we avail ourselves of their education. As Joe said, because this is a booster for Earth Hour, and hopefully there will be a lot of people watching it on YouTube and on the cable stations, Earth Hour put out this information. Can an hour change the world? On March 25th, 2023 at 8:30 p.m., the landmarks and homes across the world switch off their lights. We're asking you to spend 60 minutes doing something, anything positive for our planet. Just 60 minutes. Yes, just 1 hour. It may not seem like much, but the magic happens when you and those like you in Asia and Africa, North and South America, Oceania, and Europe, supporters in over 190 countries and territories, all give an hour for our one home, creating the biggest hour for Earth. By doing so, this hour can shine an unmissable global spotlight on nature loss and climate change, and the need to work together to secure a brighter future for people and the planet. It could compel millions to act and make millions more take notice. It could unite cities, countries, continents, showing what we all have in common and what we stand to lose. It could remind us that time is precious, but that we are powerful, inspiring us to make all other hours count. Could an hour change the world? It's a start, and it's up to us. And I leave you with that message about Earth Hour. It might seem trite to turn out the lights, sit at home, try to change your environment, light a candle, put out a little searchlight, don't fall, don't hurt yourself, and discuss what you can do with your family and friends in school and teachers to make a change. The change could be look around your house and change the old light bulbs to LEDs. It could be using less heat. It could be using less water. It could be fixing up your house, as they said. There's programs that you can avail yourself of that are free programs that are being offered by the state. The Earth Hour message goes out to all of you on the media, and we want this event to be powerful, and we thank you all for attending, and we wish you a wonderful Earth Hour. Thank you very much.